What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm Xenoheart13 and welcome officially to 2023. I know it's been a crazy time in 2022, and I just wanted to also, just bring in that there's going to be some excitement happening in 2023, such as new games and new movies coming out. So I thought I'd let you in on my top 10 most anticipated games and movies of 2023. I have two separate ones. Sorry. This one, as you can tell from the title of the video, is going to be just the game portion. I'm going to be doing a separate video talking about my most anticipated movies, but we'll just jump straight in to the games of 2023. Now, before I get on with this list, I just want to let you know that I really didn't. I wanted to try to make them in like no particular order. Probably like numbers like 4 through like probably like 5 down. Like 5 through 1 was being like number 1 being my most anticipated. Those ones are kind of like, I did mean to put them in that order, but like 10 through 6 is kind of like in like no particular order whatsoever. And I even thought it would be cool if like I even put a little honorable mention in there. Same thing with the movies. So let's get on with this, and let's start off with the intro. Now I just want to start off by saying, like I said in the first, this is in no particular order from 10 through 6. Okay, so number 10 of my most anticipated games of 2023, we're going to go with Silent Hill 2. And also, I'm going to be, like, putting the games right here beside me, Now, I personally have never actually played the original Silent Hill 2, but it does look promising because I am a huge fan of that genre of game. Such as, what I mean by that is, like, I'm a huge fan of the survival horror type thing going on. And honestly, 2023 could be the exact year of survival horror. I'm really looking forward to like all the games of like survival horror in terms of it, like Alan Wake and all that stuff. But sadly, that one didn't make it on the list. I don't know anything about that game. But yeah, Silent Hill 2, like I heard that they're going to be remaking it from the ground up for PS5, and it looks really good. It's no confirmed release date, but I definitely have a feeling it's going to be releasing in 2023. I think it's been confirmed for like a 2023 release year. It's just not really been confirmed on what the release date for that is. And also like that Unreal Engine like 4 or 5, whatever one they were doing of the Pyramid Head in the trailer that you saw when they did the Silent Hill showcase looks so good. So yeah, Silent Hill 2 officially makes number 10 on my list. And leading off with one that's coming out in just a few weeks, number 9, we're going to be doing Dead Space Remake. Now, I did play the original 3 Dead Spaces. Number 2 was essentially my favorite one out of the 3. But I'm honestly hoping that if this one does good, which I know that it will because it's Dead Space, and Dead Space is just an amazing game in general, I'm really hoping that they decide to go along and just try to like remake all of them. And Dead Space 2 was the one that I did through and through with my brother, and it was like literally just an amazing experience to actually watch that. So yeah, Dead Space comes in and like literally it's gonna be so good to being able to shoot off people's limbs again. It's gonna be so good. So yeah, Dead Space comes in at number 9. Number 8, we have Dead Island 2. Now, I am personally really super excited about this one. Me and my best friends, we actually recently, like last year, we went through somewhat of the whole campaign of the first Dead Island, and not Riptide because that sucks, but Dead Island. I mean, like, no hate to anyone who likes it. You like what you like. That's fine. Nobody can take that away from you. But as far as I'm concerned, Dead Island 2 is looking up to be such a good game experience. I'm really looking forward to playing as new people, and we're not we're going to LA. We're going to Los Angeles in Dead Island 2. They're calling it Hell A. And I absolutely love that because zombies everywhere. I've seen the new characters, some of them that they've already announced, like Jacob, which is the the guy that we saw in the first reveal trailer with the sunglasses and the afro and stuff like that. So yeah, Dead Island 2 is going to be like really amazing, and I cannot wait to see what new customizable weapons that we can do, especially with the melee stuff. Have you seen some of the new gameplay footage? Looks fantastic. All right, so number 7 is kind of one that I am personally looking forward to. I don't know if this game will make anybody else's top 10 list of games that they're looking forward to, but this is one that it was called like Project Eve, but they officially transitioned that title to Stellar Blade. I don't really know much about the story behind it, but I do know that it's going to be an amazing game, because it looks like it's going to be I'm not sure exactly. I may have forgotten what the developer of the game is, but it seems like it's going to be like kind of like a Square Enix like JRPG type thing going on. It kind of reminds me of like the gameplay of it. It kind of reminds me of Nier Automata, and I really enjoyed that game. I played it on the Switch and I played it on my PS4. It was really good, and it gives me Nier meets Bayonetta vibes. That's the type of game that Stellar Blade is like given off personally to me. And honestly, although I never played Bayonetta, because as from last year, I got my first official Switch, so I haven't had the chance to actually go out and buy Bayonetta. So that's something. But going back to it, Stellar Blade is something that I'm looking forward to, because it's just kind of like a different genre, like it's more like of the anime-esque type game, kind of like, what's it called, Xenoblade Chronicles or Xenoblade, like, something like that. It's not really exactly like it, but I'm just gonna stick with the thing saying like Stellar Blade is pretty much similar to Bayonetta meets Nier Automata, and that's all there is to it. That's why I'm looking forward to it. All right, number 6. Final Fantasy 16. Now, I'm like a big Final Fantasy fan. As you can tell from the channel, I actually recently finished the Final Fantasy 7 remake, and I also did my Final Fantasy 7 remake Integrate, which was the DLC for it, and I pretty much did all of that in parts. Now, granted, I have yet to do my Crisis Core reunion video, but I promise, like, honestly, that one is more of a personal game that I don't really feel like I want to put on the channel. It's not that I don't want you guys to see me play it, it's just the fact that when it comes to that game, I want to actually enjoy it, but I don't want to actually bore you guys with doing all like the unnecessary side quests and all that stuff, and then it ends up being like a 40-part series that people only watch like half of it. Granted, if you want to see that, let me know, and honestly, maybe I will do that, because right now I'm doing my own personal little playthrough of Crisis Core, and like I'm already like 20 hours into it, and I'm only on like chapter 6, or chapter 7, I think, like right before you have to leave Midgar and do all that stuff, like the point of no return type stuff going on. But anyway, back to Final Fantasy 16. It looks really good. And from the gameplay trailers and everything that we've seen from terms of story, we're finally going back to we're not doing a futuristic Final Fantasy like we've been doing, like what we've been getting. We're kind of going back to, I think, from what my friend told me, I think it's taking place between Final Fantasy 1 and 2, but we could be wrong about that guess. But it looks like it's going to be very promising. One big thing that is kind of made it kind of a selling point for me, aside from like everything looking so cool and badass, this is actually, I think, the very first Final Fantasy game that's rated M for mature. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be cool. So look forward to that. Final Fantasy 16 hits my spot at number 6. Number 5. We're now in the top 5. Like I said, this one is actually, I meant to do this in this exact order. Number 5, we have Forspoken. One that's coming out the same week as Dead Space, and I personally have no idea exactly what to do in terms of like which one to play more. But honestly, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing, I'm going to try to swap back and forth between the two. But I'm going to probably play Forspoken a lot more. But as far as I'm concerned, Forspoken, I played the demo of that. I meant to do commentary on the demo. I'm probably gonna like actually do a commentary demo, and I'm gonna try to do it like differently. Or better yet, I'll probably just delete my current Forspoken gameplay demo for it, and I'll just redo it entirely with commentary on, so I can tell you my thoughts and opinions on it. But I do know that Forspoken is probably one that I will be putting on the channel, because I'm really just looking forward to being able to play a new Square Enix IP, because it just looks, and just like with Stellar Blade, that one was called Project Athia, which is now like transitioned to Forspoken, and it turns out Athia is the area where we're going to be playing as Frey Holland. It's going to be so great to officially play like the full thing. I still go back and forth with the demo. It's still on my PS5. I don't want to delete it because I like going back and forth with it, seeing like all the new stuff that I can do to traverse like the whole world of Athia, and it looks so great. I cannot wait to play it on the 24th of this month in January. So yeah, Forspoken hits my official number 5 spot. Number 4. My number 4 spot belongs Diablo 4. Now, granted, I think I skipped out on Diablo. No, I played Diablo 3 with my brother and my cousins. I don't think I played the Diablo 2, but I did play Diablo 1. So I played Diablo 1, 3, and I'm planning on playing 4. So I just need to go back and do 2. But all in all, I like the last good overhead like game that I played that was really good was the Xbox 360 / PS3 game called Dungeon Siege 3. That was the last good like over the top view game, and honestly, Diablo 4 is looking so damn promising, and I really cannot wait to play it. I know I keep saying that for all the games, but I'm just so excited to officially play all of these games, man. I'm just so excited. Not to mention like the classes the new classes that you get to do, like the Rogue. I think they changed some stuff up with the Necromancer, all that stuff, and it's just looking so promising now. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Hopefully they release a demo for it. I know that sometimes they will, but I don't know if they will or not. But that's up to them, That is releasing 6/6/2023. That's right. I also forgot to mention for the other one. So Silent Hill 2 has no confirmed release date, but I'm pretty sure it's like 2023. Dead Space coming out the same week as Forspoken, but it's coming out I think the 27th. Stellar Blade has a release window of the year 2023. This one. Final Fantasy 16 coming out same month as Final Fantasy 16 is coming out the 22nd of June. So yeah, and then Forspoken is coming out the 24th. Diablo 4 is the 6th, 6/6/2023. So now, that's number 4 for Diablo 4. Number 3. Now, this one is kind of weird. I was kind of questioning whether or not I wanted to put this one on the list because it doesn't have a really confirmed release date for 2023. But it's so my number 3 spot belongs to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, aka Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. The reason why I have this one on the list is because it says that aside from me absolutely loving Final Fantasy VII, 7 and 13 were my 2 favorite Final Fantasy games. Don't judge me for 13. I already see the comments like flooding, but like honestly, that's the reason why I have like the Roman numeral 7 right there is dedicated to Final Fantasy VII, and that and several other reasons, but that's one of them. It's up for interpretation. But I honestly really enjoyed the Final Fantasy VII remake. It's, as you can tell, it was a really good thing that I put it on the channel. I'm looking forward to it. And the reason why I was kind of hesitant to putting it on this list is because it has no confirmed release date, but I do know that it's coming out in 2023, I think. And I say that because it says it's coming out winter of 2023. So that could mean it could be coming out anywhere from November to December of this year, but it also could mean it could be coming out January, February, or anywhere from March. You know, those I think that's the release window from winter of 2023. I forgot how like the months work, but yeah, essentially that's what I'm thinking. But honestly, I want to say that they're probably going to release this game around probably December, around like the end of December, maybe the beginning of January 2024. But I still wanted to put this on the list to let people know that yes, it is still coming. But aside from that, it's just Final Fantasy VII, dude. It's probably one of the biggest Final Fantasy games that we are going to be getting in general. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, yeah. So number 3, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Number 2, and we're down to our top 2 lists. Number 2 is Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Now, I did not put this on the channel, but unlike with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Spider-Man 2 has an official fall 2023 release window. So that one is probably going to be released around like August, September, October, something along those lines. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, around those times. But I'm definitely anticipating that it's going to be just as good. Not only are we probably going to be getting Kraven the Hunter, because I think that's who's narrating in the trailer that we see, but we also are getting Venom, which, as you saw from the post-credit scene of the 2018 Spider-Man game, Harry Osborn is seen in like in a tank, like being occupied by Norman Osborn, saying like, "Oh, with the symbiote," because I think Harry is sick or something. I don't know. It's been a while since I played it. Which, fun fact about my Spider-Man playthrough, did you know that was one of the, I think it was one of the most recent games that, well, it's not really recent because technically I 100%ed Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake. So either way, but it was one of the very ones that I remember that had like about like 50 or so trophies that I actually went through and got all the trophies. So I platinumed the first Spider-Man game, and I'm working on doing Miles Morales too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing Spider-Man 2 because of the fact that you can do Venom, Kraven the Hunter, Miles Morales, and Peter Parker. And honestly, I want to anticipate that they're going to implement a co-op, or they're maybe going to be doing like branching stories where you can switch out between Peter and Miles. I have no idea how they're going to be making that work, but I'm really kind of hoping that they could do like somehow do like a co-op thing where one person plays as Peter and one person plays as Miles. If not, that's totally 100% cool. Either way, I'll still be madly enjoying the game. So Spider-Man 2 makes my number 2 spot. Now, my number 1 spot, before I unveil my number 1 pick, I want to say an honorable mention. I only have one honorable mention for both my video game and movies, and that is for my honorable mention for my video games, my thing, is Pragmata. Now, that one was first revealed back when the PS5 was first revealed for the hardware. And I like the futuristic setting behind it. It looks so good. The reason why it made an honorable mention and not officially on the list was because we haven't heard anything from Capcom, which is who's developing Pragmata. All I know is that it was supposed to get released back in 2022, but it got delayed due to some polishing necessary and some bugs or something. I don't know. But we haven't heard anything new from Capcom about Pragmata, probably because they're too busy working on the Resident Evil 4 remake and all that stuff. But then again, I'm pretty sure they have like separate teams working on that stuff, so I don't know. But Pragmata is definitely something I'm looking forward to. I just don't know what the release, like, I know it's coming out 2023. I don't know what the game's actually about. I don't know how the game's going to play and all that stuff. So as promising as it looks, I need more information before it actually would make my official top 10 list. All right, so back to officially the number one spot for most anticipated game of 2023 for me is Resident Evil 4 Remake. And you can bet your ass I'm going to be putting this one on the channel. Just like how I did with Resident Evil 2 Remake, with Resident Evil 3 Remake, and with the entirety of Resident Evil Village. And what I mean by entirety is that I also finally did Shadows of Rose back in October. So you can bet that I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 4 Remake, not only because of the fact that it is probably the biggest game that ever got released for the Resident Evil series. Not saying that all the other Resident Evils were like stacked up to it or couldn't stack up to it, because like Resident Evil 3 Nemesis that released in 1999, that one's probably my all-time favorite, and then Resident Evil 4. But Resident Evil, I definitely heard that from Resident Evil 4, they are not doing any cut content because they have the team that developed Resident Evil 2 and not 3. The Resident Evil 2 remake, that team is working on Resident Evil 4. So you know that they're not going to be cutting any corners like they did with Resident Evil 3 remake. So we're going to be getting all of it branched into one. So I'm really, really hyped for Resident Evil 4 remake. That's releasing March 24th, 2023. I already have my collector's edition pre-ordered. I'm looking forward to that, and I cannot wait to see like the game be played on my PS5. I'm not sure if it's a PS5. No, it's not a PS5 exclusive. It's a next-gen exclusive though, so that's something. But I'm looking forward to it. All the games that I mentioned, I'm extremely looking forward to in 2023. Really hoping that if any of the games that you wanted didn't make the list, let me know down in the comments. Just let me know. And honestly, I'll look into it because I'm open for suggestions about games to play. But right now, those are the top 10 games I'm looking forward to here in 2023. I am so glad that we are now living in the day and age where all the games that got pushed back in 2020, we're finally starting to see them now because the pandemic and all that stuff that happened in 2020, everything got pushed due to development and stuff like that. So now we're finally starting to see some progress and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to all these games. But anyway, that was my top 10 most anticipated games of 2023. If you also haven't checked it out, check out my video for my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2023. I'm Xenoheart13, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace. Happy New Year.